Hello and welcome to Wielders of the Essence. I've played this game before on the channel, however this time it has received an update and we have a new wielder that we can use. Oh yes, I'm actually very excited about that because last time I think we only played as one of them, and yeah, I think they've also, I'm not entirely sure, did we have the crawlers before? I don't know, I don't think we did. Anyway, if you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. This is an incremental roguelike ARPG survivor experience, and this is the demo currently, and here you go. This is the new wielder. We're going to be playing as him today. He has a bow and I'm very intrigued to see what we can do. So I have already done both of the levels because I love this game. I think this game is absolutely fantastic. It's made by the same developers that made Songs of Conquest. I think it's, is it Songs of Conquest or I think it's Songs of Conquest. Yes, indeed. I really liked Songs of Conquest, so we really, yeah, I just had to dive in, really. I just had to dive in super hard to this. This is the second level in the demo, so we're having a slightly increased difficulty, but obviously I've got some pretty decent, let's just say that, pretty decent upgrades so far, because as I say, I have just been absolutely loving this, and I couldn't put it down, basically. I couldn't put it down. That's how good the game actually is, and this is just the demo. So yeah, I literally cannot wait until the full version comes out. It's just way too good. We're going to be going for Arcana here. Yes, there you go. Ethtra have been studying. They periodically drop experience as they fight, and indeed I'm going to be attempting to get that as much as possible. We're going for a critical based bow build or ranged build. I haven't ever done that before, so I thought, hey, you know what, let's do it. You know, maybe it's fun. Maybe it's fun to do that. I'm going to go for HP regeneration. I've already got tier 3 on some of these upgrades, so just bear that in mind. If you actually start playing the demo and you see that your HP regen is only 0.5, then that's the reason, because it increases by 0.5 every single upgrade, so just so you know. Anyway, I'm thinking we'll probably go for max HP here as well. Just bear in mind, we can only have 8 passive upgrades, so dependent on what you choose, obviously that will determine what kind of synergies you have with your other characters. I'm going to be going for hunters here now. Hunters are some of the highest DPS that you're going to be seeing in the game, at least from a pet's perspective. I think, I'm actually not entirely sure, but yeah, anyway, let's go for Cold Snap. We've got tier 2 of that now as well. Bear in mind that there are environmental effects that will actually drag your hero unit down and slow him quite a great deal. As you could see there, I was actually walking through this forest little area and it slowed me. I had slowed movement speed, so you have to be very aware of that when you're running around and running and generally trying to keep away from opponents, because if you run into the forests and they're right on top of you, you might have a bit of a problem. Thankfully, my guy right now has significant movement speed, so he's actually pretty fast on his feet. Anyway, as you can see right here, this is a class-specific upgrade, and basically what this will do is it will, as you see here, give me +2 projectiles, or I can get a +1 projectile PS. I am probably going to be going for +2 projectiles, so I actually fire 2 arrows. Well, actually 3 arrows now, 2 extra arrows, and this is going to make a huge difference. Now, every single one of these chests, of course, gives you items as well, so that's obviously the RPG aspect of the game, and obviously it very much reminds me of Songs of Conquest in that regard, because it's just such a that is such an amazing game in itself, and well, they've brought that same wonderful aesthetic charm over to this one. And really, it's just so good. It really is. And yeah, I'm going to continue. Look at this. I can literally get Cold Snap every 0.4 seconds. That is actually taking into account the buff that we currently have. So that's not technically true. 0.4 seconds is not actually what we are going to get from that. We're actually going to be getting something much more than that. But I'm going to go for Hunters level 3 instead, or level 2 anyway. Because Hunters, I've seen many times over, they've saved me. They've saved my runs just because they have been so extremely damaging. They can clear out enemies really fast. Let's hope that we're actually going to be able to complete this quest. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know whether we will. I think we've got enough time to be able to do that. There we go. And we're going to get a boss. Yes. if you can complete these quests, you get these bosses that will appear, and they'll give you extra stuff. But they are going to be quite dangerous for you to deal with. Actually, is this guy dangerous? I mean, I feel much more powerful than I used to be. This guy took me an age to kill beforehand. Let me tell you that. I was literally fighting this guy before, and I had... Well, let's just say I literally took over 2 minutes to kill him, I believe, instead of this, where I basically just murdered him 6 ways from Sunday. All right, I'm going to go for additional range here. That probably sounds pretty nice. Let's go for some more gold. That sounds good too. And here we go. Wow, look at that. 50% more gold from the golden goose. Wow, that's amazing. Now the question is, are we going to be able to level up enough and sufficiently enough to be able to deal with the final boss? I think we probably will be able to. We're actually clearing the board really nicely here. I'm actually very surprised that we're able to do something so dramatically strong here. As I said, I have upgraded myself quite a bit, but I haven't actually been into a level since I upgraded. I had about 4,000 or 5,000 gold to spend, and I basically just spent it on a lot of really interesting upgrades. Just try to make sure that I take the things that I really like for example, gathering radius. I know that sounds like probably one of the most boring things that you could spend points in, but it's true. It's one of my favorites, just because I want to be able to pick up experience. I want to be able to pick up experience. I want to be able to pick up gold, and I don't want to travel a far distance for it. So being able to do that is exceedingly useful. Anyway, we're just going to continue picking up items here as well. There are a variety of different interactables that you're going to have on the world map. The gathering radius buff also has the benefit of providing you with increased interaction speeds. So in other words, whenever you're interacting with one of these structures on the world map, you will be interacting with it 10-20% faster, and that's really nice in my opinion. I very much appreciate that. Okay, so here we go. So now beforehand, remember that I took +2 projectiles. Well, I'm not going to go for multi-shot again. I'm actually going to be going for piercing this time, because I've actually done the I've done a little bit of calculation on it, because I was actually talking about it with someone yesterday, because let's face it, I like theory crafting in certain aspects. I like theory crafting in some games. And generally, I thought to myself, wait a minute, what's actually going on with this? Are we actually going to be getting so much of a damage bonus from one additional projectile? And it came down to the fact that actually, I don't think so, because if you take piercing and you have already the first upgrade of the other one, right? You have additional projectiles, right? So if you take piercing after that, you're technically getting a it could possibly be a 300% increase, because if you get that 300% increase when you hit 3 different enemies, and I'm talking about if you hit 1 enemy per arrow that you currently have, because you obviously have 3 arrows right here. Also, I'm going to be buying the spiked shield. That's going to get me some critical chance. I very much appreciate that. We do have quite a lot of critical chance as it stands right now. And yeah, this is a very strong character. For me personally, I do feel as though, by the way, that this, I'm going to say it right now, I'm not sure. I do think he's very strong, but I'd actually say that maybe the other character, the one that you can play by default, I think he might actually be possibly stronger than this one. And just because of the, as I said, the damage calculation that I was doing the other day, I was just thinking to myself, you know what? Actually, I feel like the ability for that character to penetrate unlimited amounts of enemies, I think is very strong. Obviously, if you think about the fact that this guy can attack from very far distances, that obviously makes things a huge amount different, right? You know, because obviously the what is it now? The toad guy? I actually don't know. Is he a troll or a toad? Or I don't actually know. But yeah, anyway, the point is the other character has a very limited range. And I think that that's probably one of the things that you're going to be seeing being not so amazing, you know, because obviously his range is very short. Whereas this guy can pretty much attack from across the screen. So that is very powerful. Obviously, in the game, you do need to pick up resources as well. So as you can see, I'm actually starting to pick up some wood and some stone and all that wonderful stuff. Let's actually just get Cold Snap some more. I don't have any creation spells at the moment, hilariously enough. So I haven't really done anything with that. Gonna just upgrade the item in the meantime as well. And as you can see, we are going to be hopefully surviving until the very end of the boss timer. And then we're going to have some great things happening. And you know what? I think I'm probably going to take Cowl of the Spectres. Generally, I don't really want to be spending that much gold on items because these items you can't take outside of the level. So they're just going to help you inside the level and then they're going to be gone, basically. But I feel like some of them are exceedingly good. And I'm talking about massive damage increases, HP regeneration, HP itself, movement speed, all kinds of crazy cool stuff like that. I'm actually not going to be taking multi-shot again. I will be taking piercing. I personally think the piercing is extremely strong. So I am going to be taking that. And as I said, I do feel as though the other character can have some very powerful things going on with him as well, because he just literally has, as I said, unlimited piercing. So if you do go for a bunch of range, right, if you go for a bunch of range upgrades with him, he can be exceedingly strong as well. So it just very much depends, I guess. It just very much depends. But as I say, the range on this guy is very good too. So yeah, we've got some gauntlets. There we go. And I'm just going to continue trying to pick up as much as I can here, because I need as much gold as possible. I want to try to get as much as I possibly can to upgrade ourselves. And this is the fun part, building up your village, you know, building up your village, getting all those upgrades, earning all the gold that you need to be able to make that happen. It's just so satisfying as well. Every single thing that you do in this game is just so satisfying. Look at all the gold that is coming towards me right now, and the amount of arrows that I'm firing off. It's just, everything culminates to create a wonderful experience that you really just, yeah, it's just great. It's just fantastic. Now, the bosses are also really fun. Most of the time they are going to be, they're actually going to take quite a while usually, but obviously we're pretty strong right now, so I guess it's not really going to, well, this guy isn't really going to prove himself to be doing that much to us, but we are very strong, as you can see right there. I'm actually very surprised it didn't take, it took me only 14 minutes. Only 14 minutes of this video to complete this, and I just was, I don't know, I was just talking a huge amount early in the video, and there you go. Alright, well, I'm actually very surprised about that. But every single time you end a level, your experience gems that you pick up are going to be, shall we say, invested in this egg. And, well, I have no idea what this is going to actually, you know, create in the end. I assume a dragon or something along those lines. I have no idea. But that is very intriguing to me, and I also want to see what happens with that. But yeah, anyway, the point is, we now have 5,500 gold, and I can indeed upgrade Riktab, which is the shaman guy that I talked about earlier. And as you can see, I can upgrade his damage to 18. Now, I will be going in and actually, you know what? I was only going to do one run, but let's do another run, shall we? Let's do another run, and I'm going to be playing with the other character, and you can see the differences between the two, okay? Because I feel like that's probably going to be pretty interesting in general. Let's try to increase our HP a little bit, increase our damage. Let me see what else I can get here. I wouldn't mind some creation spells. Can I get a oh no, I can't even get a creation spell. That's hilarious, considering I literally just spent money. Well, never mind. Okay, yeah, I don't have any creation spells. You can also get Arcana spells as well if you want to. Should I just get some Arcana? Yeah, why not? Let's just get that just so that I can show you what it's all about. So yeah, you can get this, which is Arcane Spear. Launches projectiles that bounce off the screen edges. And you can cast that faster with Arcana Essence, so you can increase that as well. And then you also have this, which is another thing, but unfortunately you can't do that yet. But there are significant amounts of different minions that you're going to be able to summon. And at the moment I only have 3 available. I say only, but that's actually quite significant. And yeah, anyway. They need quite a bit to be able to level up and all that stuff. So yeah. Anyway, let's go in, shall we? Let's go in. Oh wait, no, I need to change my character, don't I? There we go. Change the character. And yeah, let's do it. Why not? Okay, so let's go in and we'll do exactly the same level just so you can kind of see the differences, as I said, see the differences between the two characters. This is going to be quite interesting because I don't think I've ever directly compared them, you know, super badly. You can see here that he's a lot slower. You see how much slower this guy is in comparison to the hunter. And yeah, it is quite a bit different. Okay, so let's go for destruction. He's going to be going for destruction spells quite a great deal. But yeah, we can destroy these pretty quickly. I mean, look at that. And the amount of penetration is actually kind of insane. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's go for hunters. There we go. And then we just need to try and get cold snap as soon as possible. But yeah, this is going to be... I feel like maybe this is going to be even easier than the other guy. I actually don't know. Let's see how that goes. Let's go for the 30% experience multiplier. I want to try to increase my experience a significant amount. I want to get the Ethra, if at all possible, too, because that does give me experience. We need range, so I'm going to go for range right away. Range is going to be extremely powerful for us, at least later on down the line when we have enemies surrounding us from all sides. Let's get some more gold as well. I do want to try to get as much gold as possible for upgrades and everything. You do need a lot, right? You do need a lot of gold to be able to make that work. But yeah, these enemies are really not knowing what is going on. Let's get the Ethra here. That's going to get me that synergy. So they're going to periodically drop experience, of course. And the question is, do I have enough? Do I have enough damage? There's Arcane Spear, so we can cast that every 5 seconds. I'm going to be going for critical chance, though, because Arcane Spear, while it might be really good, 5 seconds, every 5 seconds is very slow in comparison to what Cold Snap can actually do. So I'm very much looking forward to how that's going to be when we finally get it. I'm going to be increasing my max HP as well. Increasing my max HP right now with this particular character does give us a direct improvement to his damage when we get his class upgrade. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about when we get there. Let's go to the Cold Snap there. I do want to... I think I want to get Arcane Spear, but only after I've upgraded it or, you know, done a little bit of something to sort of provide a little bit of a bigger boost, shall we say. That's going to be nice. So yeah, this is it. This is exactly what I was talking about. So instead of the other guy where he gives where he has, you know, additional projectiles and he has piercing for his projectiles, you have this. So for me personally, I don't know whether this is really that good. I think that these powers are a little bit less, I would say probably quite a bit less powerful than the other guy. Because his just basically dramatically increases damage output, and this guy basically just gets 1% additional damage based on his max HP. That's the reason why I'm trying to max my HP as much as I possibly can. I'm trying to increase it as much as I can, at the very least. Not sure how well that's going to go, especially considering I do need to kill another 47 enemies. I'm not sure I have more damage, but unfortunately these guys are proving themselves to be quite annoying. They're quite, well, shall we say, hesitant to get into range so that I can kill them. Yes, indeed. Let's increase the Wielders' attack here. Now we're doing some pretty hefty damage. Okay, yep, there we go, there we go. Okay, this is actually looking quite nice. Good, we're getting some HP regeneration as well from that item. It's going to be very useful. And let's get more critical chance. There you go, we did it, we did the quest, nice. So we're going to get the boss. So obviously last time with the other character we had the boss too. Now this boss is probably going to be quite a bit more difficult for us to handle with this particular character, because as I said, the closer the other opponent, or shall we say the closer the other hero is to the enemies, the closer you're actually going to be able to deal damage. Or shall we say the more you're going to be able to deal damage, because it's more like a shotgun then, you know, because the projectiles travel out in a conal shape, right? And so, yeah, it makes a huge difference. Anyway, I'm just going to continue trying to get as many upgrades as I can possibly handle here. And I think, you know, for me personally, I do feel as though this character is quite a bit strong. I feel like it's quite... I don't know. I mean, obviously, we don't have that much range right now because I just haven't gotten those upgrades. I'm not getting particularly lucky with the upgrades at the moment. We did get some spread as well, which would have been pretty nice. But yeah, we mostly have tier 1 upgrades at the moment. It would be wonderful if we could get some additional ones, but I think it will happen in time. We just need to make sure that we're picking up that wonderful, delicious experience and trying to do what we can. I don't really want pickup range at the moment. I'd like to get spread instead or something like that. Maybe I do. Do I want that? I actually don't know. In many cases, as I said, I personally feel like pickup radius is one of my favorites. Probably, maybe even my favorite thing to pick up in games like this, because I really don't like traveling a huge distance to be able to pick up my experience. I just want it all to get, flow over to me and, just have a grand old time with that. But yeah. Anyway, let's go for that. Some of that. More HP equals more damage. With this particular character, that is, at least. And we are inflicting quite a bit, actually, in the meantime. So, pretty happy with that. Let's see what else we get. Oh, nice. +1 Destruction Essence. That's really, really good. That means we can cast Cold Snap that much faster. And look at this. We can now get Hefty Tier 2, which increases our damage from 3 to 6%. So we are now inflicting even more. So I do feel as though, as I said, I feel as though this could actually be an extremely powerful character if you just, get the right upgrades, just get as much HP as possible. He can actually be really, really strong. Okay, so let's just get that. I'm just going to do a little bit of picking up here before we go for that interactable over there. Because that interactable over there, basically what that does is it unleashes a bombardment of magical projectiles. There they go. Boom. There we go. Unfortunately, it didn't really do much because we're not really surrounded by enemies at the moment, but basically it's supposed to be a bit of a board clear, right? It's supposed to be like this big AoE thing that helps you to survive just that little bit longer. But obviously, as it is right now, we're very strong at the moment, so we are not really as surrounded. But, you can kind of trust what I'm saying anyway. But, there we go. Wielders attack level 3. That's wonderful. Let's go for this. This is Magnet. Basically, it's just going to pull all the experience and all the gold nearby to me. Let's go for some more critical here. Let's go for some more destruction magic. That's going to mean that my Cold Snap is casting very, very fast. And indeed, this is... Yeah, I actually feel quite a bit safer with this character than I did with the other one, but... Maybe that's just because I personally prefer playing like this. I don't know, maybe this is just my kind of style. This is my kind of style of gameplay. Because as you can see, do you see how much damage he's actually doing? He's doing 150 damage criticals. 150 damage criticals, if you can believe it. And we can even get more range. Look at this. Look at this range that he has on him right now. It's actually insane. So this is... Yeah, this is pretty crazy. I like it. And if we can just, continue to get those upgrades, he's going to be even stronger, really. He's going to be extremely, extremely strong. Obviously, at the moment, I think we're kind of getting to the point where we're not... Yeah, we're probably not even going to be able to be honest. Let's go for some more damage amplification so that when people are frozen by our Cold Snap, we're going to be completely fine here. So... let's have a look and see. So, we're otherwise just gonna board clear, apparently. Yeah, we are just going to... I mean, literally, the amount of damage amplification that Cold Snap gives us now. And look at this additional 9% damage. We're gonna be doing even more damage now. I don't even know how much HP I even have, because I haven't really even gotten hit. I could check. I could go into my stats right now and check. Shall I check? We have 240 HP from our base of 150, so that's pretty nice. Oh, we've got even more of that. We've got 285 now, and as you can see, Ironclad and Storm Touch, the Hunter no longer flinches, and Hunters now deal more damage, because we've unlocked the Synergy. The Synergy is to have max HP, the max HP passive. So, yeah, it's just it's one of those games. It's one of those games which I personally really, really enjoy, and... it's just so fun. I just can't put it down. It's one of those things that you just can't put down, really. And I'm going to continue trying to pick up as much of this experience as possible. Thank you very much. So let's actually have a look here. There we go, 80%. Wonderful. And let's see what else we have up here. Wow, I mean, just literally, there's so much stuff randomly just scattered all over the place. Just because I don't have the pickup radius. I don't have the pickup radius. It's such a shame that I don't have that. Let's just increase my damage even further. How fast is it going to be for us to kill these bosses? Or shall we say the boss? Because I didn't even pick up any items this time around, which is hilarious. Let's go for the boots, I guess. Yeah, but this is going to be kind of insane because just look at how fast we kill the boss. Boom, he's dead. You see that? And this is what I'm talking about. This character, in my opinion, is much stronger than the other one, but that is just me. That's because I personally I like this style. I like this style of gameplay. I guess that's the whole point, right? I guess that is the whole point. Anyway, we did end up doing that in just under 8 minutes. I have no idea how long the other run actually took, but it's just such a fun game. It really is. Anyway, this is Wielders of the Essence. If you want to check it out, there is a link in the description. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.